What's happened to your team in the last month where the arrow has begun to significantly point up, certainly in the last 2 weeks? What would you say has occurred within your program,
You
Coach?
know, what I think is just our guys have continued to get better every single day. First of all, we got good players and good guys on this team. And, did the season start out the way we wanted it? No, absolutely not. But we stuck to the process of just getting better every single day. And our thing is, hey, how do you get better every day? It's intensity at practice, right? The intensity you have at practice and the detail that you have in walkthroughs in the meeting. And if you come in there every single day trying to get better at anything there and just improve, if we all get a little bit better each day, we're going to put ourselves in position to win on Sunday. And so, there was just some growing that had to do with some different positions and some coaches and, myself including. And there was some the growing that we had to do. But, we're to a point now where we're kind of seeing some of the fruits of our labor. And because I do believe that we've just all lived by this philosophy, let's get a little better. Let's get a little better. Let's get a little better. And you're seeing it on the field right now.
What about Jalen Hurts? What has he done over the last couple of weeks, do you think? Or has he just been consistent all season long and the rest of the team's kind of catching up? What do you think?
The last couple of weeks, what he's done is I've really seen him grow as a quarterback. He's always had this dynamic ability with the ball in his hands. And I want to go to a play that he made against Denver in last week. There was a 24-yard gain to Dallas Goedert on a third down. And Jalen does a good job. He kind of gets a little bit of pressure up the middle. He slides in the pocket. He keeps two hands on the football. In the past, Jalen would have one hand on the football, and potentially you get that thing poked out. He puts two hands on the football. He slides, and I'm like, okay, here he goes. He's going to run for the first. It was 3rd and 12. But he keeps his eyes down the field and fires a strike to Dallas Goedert, I think that earlier in the year he was going to run that, and maybe he gets 12, maybe he gets 24, which what we ended up getting on the pass play. But he fires the ball, that keeps his eyes down the field, fires the ball down the field, and gets a big play out of it. And so that one really comes to my mind of where he's just really growing as a quarterback, because you combine the skill that he has as a runner and then the ability he has as a quarterback. When you start to combine that together, he's just going to keep getting better. And then just his command and the control over the line of scrimmage has just grown and grown each week. And that's just a tribute to Jalen and his work ethic. And, he wants to be the best. He wants to be known as a really good player, and he's well on his way. And he's been really having some good games these last couple of weeks.
What about his leadership skills? I think those are second to none. Certainly his story from Alabama to Oklahoma to last year, game 256, being sat fourth quarter. Now he's back. He's getting his opportunity in the pros. His story is remarkable. I've enjoyed getting to meet him. You got a good story about his leadership skills where you're the HC, you're sitting there going, okay, that's my QB. Anything like that?
Yeah. Yesterday, even just like I'm just thinking, the one thing that comes to my mind is how stoic he was yesterday. He makes that. We all saw that play that he made yesterday, where he, with his own read play, he pulled the ball, made 96 miss, and went and did the rest with some good blocking from the offensive line and down the field. And he was just, it was a time where I think that, I was smiling. A lot of guys were smiling. Jalen just was really stoic. Like, he was a little pissed that we didn't close that game out earlier, because, there's some things that happened in that third and fourth quarter, tribute to the Saints. They were playing good ball in that time. But he was upset with a couple things that he did, and so he's just not satisfied. He just wants the best out of himself. He wants the best out of his teammates, and his best out of his coaches. And so I think that's where you see him grow each week, and his leadership skills. I think that was on full effect yesterday when I was giving him a high five after the play, and he was just kind of stone faced right there. But it was a great play nonetheless, and we were able to smile about it today.
I think the best thing you've done yet, Nick Sirianni, is you've gotten Darius Slay to score every week. Good job. Good job. Good job doing that.
You know what I
How'd
got
you
to
do that?
I got to get him on offense. What am I doing? Look at him when he gets that ball in his hand. He's incredible. I got to design something for him on offense to get him a touch.
Right? I mean, like, so good job. You got to the way you've schemed him open on defense like that. I mean, it's incredible. It really is remarkable. What about the defensive unit here?
I'll make sure Coach Gannon knows that.
Yeah.
Knows that too. I'll tell him.
Well, I mean, and that was part of the issue, I think, as you, I'm sure, know, and being discussed in Philadelphia, was the scheme and how many people were buying into it and what's going on. How do you see that one progressing, Coach?
I just think that, the defensive staff has done a good job of putting their head down and not listening to outside noise and just continuing to do what they believe in and, and making adjustments as you go as well. Like we're in a game of adjustments, right? And so, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get the scheme to where you want it to be. And, so it's just a good job by him and his, Jonathan Gannon and his staff of, figuring out what's going to work against different opponents. And they've stacked a couple good games in a row, and we need to continue that. And then just, we're good up front on defense. We really are. We got some really good players up front, and they're really leading the way there on defense. And I always believe that, where you win football games is the offense and defensive line. And so, we're fortunate. I came into a good situation. Howie and his staff have done a really good job of getting good offense, good depth at the offense and defensive line. And so, sometimes when you go to a new place, it's like, man, we got to replace here, and, on those fronts. And that's just been the way it's been here. Has been like, there's just a lot of good players that are stacked here, for us to be able to use in our run and pass game.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.